Hey everyone, good afternoon. I posted earlier today that I was going to go live with a Facebook post and then also a blog. I haven't not gotten to the blog yet, and there'll be more detail in the blog. But I did want to just go live this afternoon and just kind of share a word of what I felt like the Lord was saying for the month of June. And I just think there's a lot out there for the month of June, and I've seen a lot of coinciding words, I guess. And so I just wanted to come on and share a little bit about, excuse me, what I feel like the Lord's saying for this month. And I really believe that it's important for us in this season to have an eagerness and an expectation. I believe the Lord's going to fulfill. I've already seen it just even personally. I've seen a lot of prophetic words even about the month of June. And sometimes I think we get dull ears because we hear so much and we've been disappointed in seasons past. And we're like, oh, if I hear that word one more time, I just don't want to hear it again. But if we'll not dull our ears and we'll listen, we're in that season. You know, the ones that the Lord said, I was in a time of prayer this morning, and the Lord just spoke really about the ones that have hung on, the ones that have walked in faithfulness when they felt like giving up, the ones that have contended when they felt like quitting, the ones that have stood when they just felt like walking away. Those ones, the Lord's moving supernaturally with His favor. See, the thing about supernatural favor is it's supernatural. You can't hunt this stuff down. You can't go out and make it happen. That's not favor. That's owing man something. See, the Lord's saying in this season, the word says He withholds no good thing. And if He's withholding it, it's because we're not quite ready for it. We don't want to admit that sometimes. But even myself personally, I thought I wanted things before. And now I'm so glad they didn't happen the way I thought I wanted them to happen. And that now the Lord's opening the doors. Now He's clearing the paths. Now it's taking place. And so I just want to encourage you in that He's pouring out in this season. And I wrote down some of the word, and I want to just kind of read a little bit of you. The places that you hung on, that was something else He said. The places that you've hung on, those places that, we all have those places where, we just want to quit. We're just tired of the fight. That's why the word tells us in Galatians chapter 6 not to get weary in our well-doing. Verse 9, right? Because if the enemy's trying to get us weary in our well-doing to just sit down and give up. Because if we sit down and give up, then we're not reaching the people we're supposed to reach. We all have something inside of us to pour out. Hey, I just want to say hey to everyone that's jumped on. I see all of you there. And I'm just excited you're listening. Christine, Cheryl, Candace, Britt, Jeanette, thank you all for joining in. And so I'm just encouraging everyone, just keep hanging on. I know each of you individually. I know some of your stories. I know areas that you have hung on, that you felt like quitting. And the Lord said it's that very area that you didn't quit, that I'm coming in and I'm going to pour my supernatural favor in that area this month, the month of June, because you didn't quit. The enemy tried to rob you. The enemy tried to get you in that place, but you wouldn't give up. And now I'm pouring my favor in that place. Your perseverance, your preparation was in that season of wanting to quit and remaining in that place. And something else, the Lord says the enemy, the adversary, he's looking. We know he's looking to devour us. I just keep switching hands with my phone if I'm moving a little. But the enemy is going to wish he hadn't even touched you in that area. Because the outpouring in that area is going to be significant. It's going to be supernatural. And remember, it's going to chase you down. You don't have to work it up. You don't have to chase it down. It's going to come find you as you go and find God. The word says, seek me with all your heart. Those who seek and long for the Lord, He's going to show Himself to those. He's going to do things on their behalf. And so I just encourage you to seek and long for the Lord in this season. Something else. I'm calling forth your season. Whoa, that got close. Sorry. I'm calling forth your seasoned wisdom. I'm calling it forth. See, and that's not an age thing. That's a learned thing. the struggles you've been through, the places you didn't quit. You have wisdom in those areas now. And that's what he's calling forth in such a time as this, right? And we've heard that before, and we get sick of it sometimes. Maybe I'm just speaking about me. Like if I hear one more time, such a time as this, and I'm sitting and sitting and sitting, now I see it as God's protection. But now God's moving for the faithful, for the ones that contended, for the ones that stood, for the ones that linked their faith with expectancy. See, to just have faith without works is dead, right? To just have faith but not put anything behind it, not put an expectation behind it. Expect those things. And so, I shared an example of my grandson's living with me right now. My son and his whole family are living with me temporarily. And we have a pool in the backyard. And Daddy comes home every night, and him and his son go swimming. And so my grandson expects this eagerly, by the way. When he knows Daddy's on his way home, he gets his swimsuit, he gets his goggles, and he's waiting at the back door. And Daddy's not even come through the front door yet, and he's waiting on him. And so it's that kind of eagerness, that kind of expectation that you're not even through my front door yet, God, but I know you're coming, and I'm ready, and I'm waiting. We've heard get ready, get ready, get ready over and over and over again, right? Well, you are better already be ready now. And and you are ready. You are. All those things that are in you, all those lessons learned, all those places that you wanted to give up, and you didn't. You learned in those seasons. You were prepared in those seasons. And so now's the time, that very place where you hung on, God's coming in and pouring supernatural favor in that place. And he's using you in that very place. And this is something else the Lord said. This is not a temporary season of elevation. You are going up those steps, and you are not coming back down. In the seasons past, it's been one step forward, two steps back. One step forward, one step back. Maybe two steps forward, one step back. Not in this season. As you go forward, you're remaining forward. As you go up the stairs, you're remaining. One step and you're staying. Another step and you're staying. You're remaining and staying in this season. And the Lord said, you'll not come back down from these stairs of elevation. That's what he said. But you will continue upward as you respond to my stretching. See, we ask for supernatural favor, but when God pours it out to us, it stretches us. So we have to respond in obedience to the stretching. And as we do, we're elevated up to a place we'll never return from. Who wants to be promoted to the 3rd grade and have to go back to the 2nd grade? Once you've been promoted from the 2nd to the 3rd grade, you don't go back. You might remain in the 3rd grade for a while, but you don't go back to the 2nd grade. And that's what the Lord's saying. You're not coming back down these stairs of promotion. You're staying on that elevated place in him. And so just magnify and glorify him for all he's going to do for you in this season, in this very month, by the way, the month of June. All he's going to perform for you. Let it overtake you. Because all you have to do is seek and long him, and it'll overtake you. Mary wasn't looking to become the mother of Jesus. It overtook her. It came knocking at her door. How was she greeted? Blessed and highly favored of God. And so we just keep our hearts in a place where we're blessed and highly favored of God. And that supernatural favor is going to overtake us this month, this very month. And so I just want to encourage you that the Lord says he's going to pour out a level of favor upon us and around us that we thought we knew, that we thought we were expecting, but it's going to even supersede that. So I just want to encourage you today, eagerly be expecting. See, we can be expecting, but we can be half expecting, or well, all right, I'm going to expect, but I really, I'll believe it when I see it. Eagerly expecting. I know you're coming. I know I get that text in the neighborhood from my husband when he's on his way home. He's in the neighborhood. Any minute he's going to be here. And I expect him to walk through the door. I don't expect him to not show up. We got to look that way with our daddy God also. His word is faithful, right? In Isaiah 55, It says, those words that come out of my mouth, I will perform them. They will not return to me void. In other words, he's going to accomplish what he said he's going to accomplish. Our question today is, will it be through us as he desires? Will our destinies be fulfilled as he desires? That's something else he spoke. Let me just look at my notes here for a moment about destiny. It's not over. Destiny is not over. It's time to move that stone back, right? Lazarus, they buried Lazarus. Even though Jesus sent word he would live and it would not end in death, they buried him. Let's not bury the promises of God. Trust that God can do it. Trust that he will do it. Trust that he is already manifesting it on your behalf in this season. And so I'm going to close this out so it doesn't get too long. I could go for an hour. So it doesn't get too long. I'm going to close it out right now. And actually, I just want to mention, I have podcasts on iTunes now, and I am sharing a message next Tuesday on Radio Jesus with all of this in the month of June. And then after it has broadcast on Radio Ear Jesus, then I'm going to have it up on iTunes. And so go look for it there. I'll put a reminder out on Facebook. But I just want to encourage you to eagerly expect God to perform his word. He is that faithful. See, he has a plan and it cannot return to him void. Will it be through us? Will our hearts be so yielded like Mary? I don't get it. I don't understand it, Lord. But if you've said it, you're going to do it, and I trust you in it. You all have a blessed day.